Luma dropped their own creative AI agent, and it could be the most powerful one right now. Because with just one single prompt, it produces an entire campaign, picking the best model for each individual task, whilst analyzing its outputs, meaning it reviews its own work, and rejecting certain outputs if they don't meet the standards. And anything that gets rejected will get regenerated automatically. Yet there's barely any videos showcasing how to use it to its full extent. And so in this video, I'm going to give you a completely unbiased, not sponsored review of Luma Agents AI. I'll show you exactly how to use it, I'll explain why it's such a big breakthrough, and we'll go over exactly how this new AI agent system actually works. And so before I show you all that, here's an example that I generated with just a single prompt and a reference image. And this was the entire prompt I gave it. It's very simple, I'm not even going to read it. And I attached these two images, a picture of the product and some more details about the product. And it went ahead and, as you can see, done a lot of reasoning and a lot of different images, different videos. It rejected some, it created voiceovers, audio. And the best part is that I can refine and touch up any little detail that I don't like. But again, all of this, don't worry, I'll show you in detail what this all means. I just want to show you the final result that we got. And so this was just a super simple use case, as you can see. Now, even though it done a really good job with this, keep in mind that this was one of the most basic use cases that I could give it, just so I could show you real quick what this tool is about. But in order to appreciate Luma Labs, we need to go over how it actually works under the hood. So we're all familiar with the old pipeline, which is there's a model A, then there's an output, you take that output, you paste it into model B, you get a prompt, you paste that prompt into image generator, you get that image, you paste it into a video generator. And so after all of this work, you basically have one video. Well, the difference between the Luma Labs agent is that once you send the brief or the prompt, it gets sent to Uni 1, which is their own model that I'll discuss in a second, that does all the planning, reasoning, and context. And then it dispatches these tasks amongst the different agents, which choose which models to use for which output. And even though they have their own image and video models, they still use other providers' models like Nano Banana Pro, Veo, etc. Meaning it's not going to be restricted to just one model for the task. It's actually going to use the best models for these results. And keep in mind, Luma Labs aren't amateurs. They previously released Ray 3, which was the first video reasoning model in the world. And recently they also raised $900 million to build a massive AI supercomputer to train their next generation models. So you know that this is a company that you should actually be on the lookout for and pay attention to some of their tools. But okay, let's actually just dive into the agent itself. So look up lumalabs.ai/app, click on get started. Obviously you're going to have to create an account so you can go through all that. Once you're in it, you will see this screen. Super straightforward, super simple. Down here you can click on plus and this will bring up a new workboard. Now the first thing you'll see is this big chat, so we're going to minimize that for just a second. And then you have your canvas. Now to keep it simple, down the bottom you can generate individual assets if you want. This is nothing new, I'm not even going to showcase this. And since this is meant to be shared amongst teams, they also have some organization tools like a frame over here. You can draw some stuff if you want and add some basic shapes. You can add some text as well, and you can even add notes on the side for your partners. But with the boring stuff out the way, I'm going to delete all this and I want to jump straight into the exciting stuff, which is this chat agent right here, because this is where all the work takes place. As you can see, there's not many options here because this is meant to be straightforward. You're meant to just give a prompt and receive a result and just iterate on it however you want. Now, the only option we do have down here is this create button. If we click on it, we can choose between create and brainstorm. So I'm going to click on create and I'm going to send this prompt right here. Basically, this is just a cartoon series of Elon Musk building a rocket. You can read it if you want. It's kind of boring, so I'm not going to go over that. But what I do want to showcase is this process. Firstly, it created a plan over here. We can see there's 6 different tasks. If you don't see this, you can just expand it like so. And we can see on the left, it's already generating the first image. And the first image that it's generating is going to be a character reference, meaning it's going to look back at this master reference so that the consistency amongst all the other images stays the same. Because the problem with a lot of these multi-agent workflows is that they don't share the context of the entire workspace, but that's not the case with Luma Agents, because according to the CEO Amit, Luma Agents are built on their Uni 1 model. So what is this Uni 1 model? Well, as we discussed here, it is basically the planning and orchestration layer for this entire agent. And Uni 1 is also an image generation model that can also reason, but that's not new, right? But the thing about most image models like Nano Banana Pro 2 and GPT 1.5 is that they can generate and understand images, but those are still separate tasks happening inside of a model that was taught to output pixels, because they were trained to think in text and then image generation was added on top of them. But the difference between Uni 1 is that it was built from the ground up so that reasoning and image creation happen in the same exact process. And on benchmarks like RiseBench, which test whether or not a model understands cause and effect, spatial relationships, and its time in generations, it actually beats both Nano Banana Pro 2 and GPT Image 1.5 on a lot of different benchmarks. But again, just to simplify, this is the orchestration layer inside of Luma Agents, the brain behind this agent. And so it can see the entire project, reason based on what it needs, and then delegate the actual work to other models and other agents. And this is also what powers it to be able to review its own work and reject certain outputs. Anyways, let's go back into Luma and see what it's doing. As you can see, we have have a lot done already. Is it finished? No, it's still designing, but let's start from the top. So over here, as you can see, it generated 9 different assets, and this is the review process I was talking about. So pose 1, front face portrait, was approved. Then it created more poses, and it does this review process for every single pose that it generates. Over here, it generated sequentially with each new pose referencing prior ones for consistency. Very nice. And then it done a quality assessment of all 8 poses once again. Now, along with the poses, it also generated this script. If you click on any of these, it'll automatically bring you to the poses that you can see in the actual workflow itself. So if you click on this text, it will showcase this character description that we have over here. And once again, this is what gives us that consistency. But okay, over here, we actually seen that this one was rejected. Orange artifacts on trousers inconsistent with black pants. So yeah, it rejected it. And obviously over here, if we click on delete, we can just delete that one. And now we don't have that. So now once we had all these, it went on to create the scenes. So we have 4 episodes because for context in the prompt, I want to show 4 different scenes of Elon planning, discussing, building, and launching the rocket. This isn't the actual interesting part because obviously nowadays generating an image, it's nothing special. But my point is that this is still just one prompt that I sent it, and it's generating this entire pitch deck. It's creating these videos, which we'll go over in a second, and it's reviewing its own work. So even if this isn't going to be perfect, this is already going to save you so much time. And again, I have a much more interesting use case to show you in a second, especially if you're a business owner. But even if you're creating shorts, for example, creating these AI historical shorts, with enough context and with enough understanding, you can create these much faster. But you might be wondering, okay, so this seems really good. It seems too perfect to be true. And you might be right. First of all, Luma Agents is not that cheap. When I bought the Plus plan, which is $30 a month, I basically got 2 workflow generations, because keep in mind, this is using a lot of different models, and image and video models are a lot more expensive than just some text. So now I'm after upgrading to Pro, which is $90 a month, but it's still only 4 times the usage with Luma Agents. So obviously it is going to depend how many videos that you actually need to generate, but if pricing is an issue, then you might need a different workflow. However, if you are trying to save as much time as possible, or you don't need that many workflows every single day, this isn't that bad. Again, this is meant for convenience, and this is meant for people who are really serious about saving a bunch of time and just getting the 80-20, right? But okay, let's just go back into Luma Labs to see what it's doing. So obviously it generated these images, then it turned it into a video, which we can see right here. And yeah, it basically created every single scene that we wanted. So 4 different videos, 2 of which were rejected, and let's see why. So this one's kind of obvious why it was rejected, but keep in mind that this might be obvious that, okay, yeah, this is a bad video and we need to regenerate it. But if you were to do this manually yourself, you might be doing something else, because while a video is generating, this takes quite a while. This takes a long time. You might scroll Twitter, you might, I don't know, generate a different video, and you need to go back to this, resend the prompt, generate another video, try a new model, etc. But this just noticed that, yo, the rocket's not moving. Let's just regenerate it and let's see if it generated a better result. And yeah, it did. This is a much better result of the rocket actually launching. So let's check out some of the processes. Obviously, it ran some checks, video rendered, and created animation. I think it's the same process for every single one. And then I've done another quality check, and now it's saying that it's complete, and it's asking, do I want to stitch these all together, or should it change anything else? Which is kind of nice, because if there is something I do want changed, it's better to do it before doing the final video render to save more credits, I guess. And I don't really want anything changed, but if you do want something changed, all you got to do is click on anything you want in the actual workflow itself, and then it would automatically use that as context. As you can see, it's basically dragging and dropping the image into the chat right here, and then you can say whatever you want inside of the chat so that it can refine that asset that you're using in your workflow. I'm just going to say all good, stitch them together, send that off. I'm just going to basically combine all these 4 videos into one long video. Okay, so first of all, I want to show you that we do have the video stitched together. I mean, I just showed you all the videos, so we don't need to go through each of these once again. The one problem I will say is the fact that the UI of this replay box is very inconvenient. I think small little tweaks like this would be nice if the play button was a bit clearer and it was easier to drag on this timeline over here. So you have to like click it just at the right spot, but I'm being a bit picky right here. The one thing that I think is more important than this is the ability to see what models were used for what image and what video. That is the biggest problem I see with a lot of these agent tools, is that they want to do everything for you. They want to handhold you, which is nice, but if you want something a bit more advanced, if you want a bit more granular control, I would like the ability to choose the image model, the text model, the video model for the purpose that I want to choose it for. So going back to our old example of these Nike shoes over here, I was curious, what image models, what video models did you use? So I simply asked it, and it basically told me Nano Banana Pro was used for every single image. So that's interesting, because this doesn't say Nano Banana 2, Nano Banana Pro 2, whatever, just Nano Banana Pro. And then it also gave the description of the models it used for the videos. So it used Ray, which is their own model, Ray 3.14, and Kling 2.6 for 2 of these final videos down here, I guess. 11 Labs for voice was kind of obvious. What's more interesting is that it uses Remotion somewhere, apparently. If you're unfamiliar with Remotion, it is basically an React open source framework for generating videos programmatically with code. Specifically, it got very popular, as you can see here, 16 million views, for its ability to generate really good motion graphics with code. And so my guess is that they use Remotion for the final video compositing, meaning adding transitions, stitching clips together and rendering the final polished video output. Right, so for this next use case, I want to show a very thorough example. As you can see, there's a lot here. So first of all, for context, I run a community teaching AI editors how to use AI to make more money with video editing online and how to speed up their editing with AI. And so if I want to generate a bunch of different assets for this, meaning a bunch of different logos, banners, Instagram posts, Twitter posts, LinkedIn posts, thumbnails, email headers, Instagram carousels, etc., I would need a lot of static assets. So that's the first task that it has. But not only that, I also gave it some video tasks, meaning I need a 5-second animation logo reveal, I need a 15-second course promo, I need a 30-second testimonial style ad, and I need a reel. Then I also want some audio assets. So I want a 10-second podcast intro, some notification alert sound, and finally I need some more advanced challenges because I'm really trying to push it to its absolute limits here. So we're going to actually create a fictional student character for the testimonial video. We're going to generate more 3-panel comic strips showcasing the editor's journey. We're going to create a mock-up of the course landing page, and finally we're going to compile everything to a 90-second sizzle reel of all the highlights with hopefully music, transitions, and some sort of tagline at the end of the video. So let's send this prompt off and see what it creates. And I did forget to send the logo, so it's good that it stopped and it's waiting for the logo. So now I'm just going to drag and drop this logo in and just say, here is the logo. And so it's hopefully going to generate 22 different deliverables for, as I said, banners, thumbnails, video reveals, sizzle reels, and a bunch more stuff. So let's see if it can do this. Okay, I don't like this image, by the way, so I'm going to stop it. I'm going to click on this and say, turn this into a cartoon character style image. And I'm just going to give it this reference and I'm going to send that off. So let's send this prompt off and see what it creates. Okay, and as you can see, it generated a bunch of different stuff. I'll go over that in a second, but I want to see if it changed the kind of cartoon style that I'm hoping for. So it did. Okay, but the problem is that it didn't use this for all of the other carousel shots. Yes, however, I want you to use this as the main character reference set. So change all of wave 1 in order to have this style for our character, not the realistic style that you used. Okay, and then let's just send that off. In the meantime, let's just look over at some of the banners I created. Again, the thing about this is that this isn't the impressive aspect of Luma Agents. It's not that, whoa, this is a sick image. It's cool, it's okay, but the point is that look how many images it generated. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 images and a video down here, which is just a static image, I guess. But then generated more brand assets. Something like this looks kind of cool. And this looks pretty cool. I might have to save this because this is actually very interesting. It uses a Premiere Pro timeline to kind of showcase it in this futuristic set. So that's very creative. And then it also even created an Instagram carousel, again, with just one prompt, which I might even post. I mean, this is not that bad. 5 ways AI will replace editors who don't adapt. Are you ready? And this is actually a really good carousel. Auto cut and assembly, AI color grading, AI generated B-roll, AI voice and sound design, AI client delivery and revisions. And then it obviously failed on this one, so it generated another voice and sound design. And again, all of these things are of course covered in the editing evolution. If you do like my content and you want to help out, first of all, it's free to subscribe. So if you want to see more high quality content like this, be sure to subscribe. But also just click the link down below. It's going to be the top link, and check out the editing evolution just to see if it's something that you might actually be interested in. There's a whole video there explaining what it actually is. So if you're interested, just go click on that. But then it also generated some audio assets. So let's hear these.
You're listening to Editing Evolution, where video editors learn to master AI.
Again, we have some podcast intros. This is actually really sick. I like this a lot. Might have to use this someday. And if you want more info on it, by the way, if you click on it and click on info, show more, we can see here the hertz it uses, the BPMs, that it's D minor. Yeah, this is pretty sick. Then we have the sound effect. Nice. So we have sound effect, podcast intro, some music. Then we have this landing page which is generated, which is obviously not our landing page. And guys, look how much it's generating. Keep in mind, this is still one single prompt and I'm not even a third of the way through of what it's actually generating. Okay, so let's see what this animation came out like. I don't like it that much, but again, that's not the fault of Luma Agents. Let's see the second one. A little short glitch. There's no audio, so let's see if it has audio. Yeah, nice. With a sound effect, with text. This one's nice, but this is the power of Luma. We have two. This one I don't like, this one I like. I can download this one. We have another one here with no audio. This one's probably the cleanest out of them all. I really like this one. And I really like this categorization of everything over here. It's all labeled and super easy to navigate through, because that's another issue that you have if you're using multiple different AI models for different aspects of image generation, video generation, audio, scripting, etc. Okay, moving on, we have the 15-second course promo video that we asked for. So first of all, we have some audio. What is this?
Video editors.
Okay, it's just some script. Probably a sound effect. yes, a song that we can use. And then we have some assets. So these were used in order to create this video, which, I mean, it's all right. It's not that nice. Maybe this one. This one's cool. I like this one a lot more once again. We also have a Nano Banana image that's definitely Nano Banana inspired because of this style, showcasing the traditional timeline versus AI-assisted interface. And so these are all assets that I can actually use for different purposes, right? So some of these can be, you know, Facebook posts. Some of these I can just use in the TL draws that I create for these videos. Like I can just, you know, take one of these videos that Luma generated and just import them into the TL draw. There is actually many different use cases that I'm going to use some of these for, but I'm not going to bore you with all this text and like all the other examples. You get the point. There's many different examples. So if we don't like one, we can check out the other, but I want to see the next use case, which was this testimonial ad. So this is actually interesting because when I wanted it to basically change to the cartoon style, it understood not to use the cartoon style for the testimonial ad because obviously a testimonial should be kind of like a real person. But this is just the video without any audio, and then over here it generated the audio. I presume 11 amps, and this one got rejected for some reason. Let's see why. Video clips now rendering black screen tray. Okay, that's kind of obvious.
I was spending 10 hours per edit. After editing Evolution.
Okay, so yeah, it did completely fail on this, I'm not gonna lie. The lip syncing isn't on. I mean, the music is nice, it's a nice touch, but the most important thing is that this isn't lip synced correctly. So yeah, obviously I would never use this. And it somehow didn't reject this. So, I mean, let's see what we can do. I'll say something simple like, this is wrong, the lips aren't in sync, and I'll just send that off, see if we'll know what to fix. But let's move on to the 60-second vertical reel / mini documentary, because this part is kind of exciting. I mean, I like all of these different visuals and images. So again, if you want, you can, you know, pause, zoom in, see any of these in detail. But I'm going to go to the final result, which is this video that it created. So let's see.
Edited who ignore AI will be
Edited. Okay, whatever.
obsolete by 2027. Right now, AI can auto-cut footage, color grade in seconds, generate B-roll from text, and handle entire audio mixes. The editors who
I like the music a lot. I mean, there's obviously a few tweaks. I mean, if I was to upload this as a short, the captions should be in the middle, it should be a bit bigger. I mean, the logo is kind of pointless up top left, but the script so far and the visuals so far, they're actually all right.
their work time in half and charging more. Alex Rivera went from 10-hour edits to 2 hours.
It uses the previous, this is interesting. So this is a good example of context understanding throughout the entire workflow, because it uses Alex Rivera, which is this made up testimonial from this previous example over here, to showcase it once again in the next use case, which was the 60-second vertical reel. So this is just showcasing how Uni 1 is this powerful model that actually has context awareness of your entire project.
2-hour edits and tripled his client base. Editing Evolution is the
Then it
course that
showcases
teaches
him.
video
I mean, yeah, this
editors
is,
to master.
it's not bad. It's not bad. Link in bio. This is actually a very nice visual. Again, you can also see why this is so expensive. I mean, all these different videos, all these images, then they get rejected and then they need to regenerate, plus all the text. I mean, the text is probably the least expensive here, but this does cost a lot. So the pricing does make sense. However, you can see already, even if I'm not going to use this video, I already have another asset that I can use and I can iterate on it. Once again, there's still a lot more we need to go through. So this character is the character that I wanted. Okay, this is actually really good. This is what I wanted the character to look like, this kind of cartoon style, and I gave the example, and I created many different images and different styles. So this is some sort of a tree panel. I don't even know what this is, to be honest. I basically got a prompt in order to make this super complicated, and I don't even know what this is for, but obviously this is just some comic style pages. So drowning timelines, editing evolution, and then the payoff. Yeah, I mean, this is what your life would look like if you were in the editing evolution. So make sure to click the link down below. But I mean, yeah, this is also another good image that I will save for my own use cases. And then I think it generated a video, which, I mean, from the looks of it, it's not a good video. First of all, yeah, this is not a good video. But then we have this panel, which is basically these three images converted into a single image. And it also adjusted the aspect ratio of every single one of them and added some nice text. Over here, the media is not generating. I don't know why. This is obviously the character that we told it to recreate. And then it created the testimonial ad once again with the new character. I mean, maybe this is going to be better with the lip syncing. So let's see.
After editing Evolution, I cut that to 2 hours and tripled my client.
Okay, so I mean, this is what you're not going to get on other channels, because a lot of other channels are sponsored and they're not going to show you this, but I want to show you what it's actually good at and what it's bad at, because that's important to understand. It's not that good at lip syncing and creating these videos, even on this cartoon style, because this is possible already. There is tools that are able to lip sync your video, and I made videos on them. If you are subscribed, you would have seen. There's many different tools that can do these use cases specifically, but this tool is not that good at lip syncing and testimonials, so I wouldn't use it for that. But again, I'm pushing it to its limits here, and I want to see what it's actually capable capable of. That's why I'm showing you the good and the bad. So then we have another reel, but this one, rather than being all these realistic images that we had back here, it basically, you know, once I sent it to revision to revise the character to be cartoon style, it went ahead and created the cartoon style edit / reel. So you can see all these images are in that kind of style now. There's no realistic images here. So hopefully, I mean, fingers crossed, we'll see how the final edit came out and it got approved by the agent. So that's nice. I'm guessing the captions would be the same.
Obsolete by 2027.
No.
Right now, AI can auto-cut footage, color grade in seconds, generate B-roll from
Okay, this is actually
text.
way better already. Because of my short revision, the cartoon style actually does look a lot nicer. Captions, that's an easy fix. I mean, I can just do
And
that in
handle
Final Cut.
entire audio mixes.
Okay, the problem is these in between. I mean, doing a freeze frame and it's not doing the smooth transition. But in that case, maybe I would just download these assets individually and stitch them together myself, because these assets are really good. I mean, this is a very nice image. It was turned into a video. I don't know what the video is. Oh, okay, so there's a bit of movement at the end of the video, but that's why it's also so still. For the first 3 seconds, nothing is happening and then it disappears. But this is an interesting visual. I don't even know how I would prompt this and what style I would use. Same thing with this. This is another interesting video. And yeah, once again, these are things that I might actually use for my use case because these are good videos. So I'm going to save these videos, but I'm not going to use the final video because, I mean, you can see why. The captions aren't there. There's a lot of little gaps and stuff. And especially if it's a course about editing, you don't want these kind of amateur mistakes in your edits. Contrasting each other nicely as opposed to the previous images over here, which were, I mean, I guess they are kind of contrasting as well, but I think this one is just much nicer. And then we have the image of the laptop and once again, stitched all together into a non-existent video, I guess. Okay, and let's see, with my revision, did it fix the lip sync?
I was spending 10 hours per edit. After editing Evolution, I cut that to 2 hours and tripled my...
Okay, it's very laggy. I wonder if that's just because of the preview on this website. So I'm going to try to download this. So if you want to download any video, you can just right click and, okay, I just found this out as well. You can do syncing through right clicking on it as well. So maybe we should have done this instead. But regardless, if you want to download something, you can just right click and then click on download video right here. And so let's see if this came out better. No, this is very laggy. Clearly, there's a lot of issues with this specific video. So yeah, I definitely wouldn't use. But as you can see, even though I didn't use some of these final videos, I still have so many different assets and it's honestly such a different time save. Because keep in mind, the stuff that I just showed you, like this most recent stuff, is the most advanced use cases. This is when I was really trying to push it to its limits. And again, this is all created by just one prompt and one image. And I created all of these narratives, all of these different formats that I can use. And I would say that these social banners, these brand assets, carousels, this is actually stuff that you can use. As we got deeper into the workflow, we can see that, yeah, it was struggling a little bit and there is better tools that you can use. I'm not going to lie about that. But again, there is still assets that I am going to take from this and use for my own use cases. So if you did enjoy this video and you want to see more honest takes about tools like Luma Agents, then be sure to subscribe to this channel because you're going to get not only my videos, but also more videos like this curated into your YouTube page. And if you're just curious to see what you can actually do with AI for video editing, because there's a lot more than just editing videos, you can use it in every aspect of creative design, then just check out this free video right here by just clicking on this end screen, and I hope to see you there.